Crap. I've been having nightmares of Happy since my last post 3 months ago. The dreams have ranged from Happy's smile to him brutally murdering a kid. Also about the mysterious figure I've been seeing more. Whether he's been sitting on a mountain or sitting in a forest, the figure never seems to leave me. Also, I've seen more of him to tell you more about his physical features. First off, he's in a shadow. He has some sort of face with a mouth. However, the mouth seems to be locked in one's expression. Happy's death stare. I wonder if he's happy. But more about his body. He's slightly taller than me. I'm about 6'2". Seems to be about mid-weight for his height. I boarded up my house because he obviously wants to kill me. I'm at the local elementary school, the only place nearest here where you won't find me. It also has a computer. It's been 5 days since my last encounter with him. My house is gone, burnt to a crisp. The strange thing is, no one seems to notice. It's like it never happened, or worse, like the house never existed. But at least I'm safe here. Wait. I hear rustling. That's not good. Yeah, I see Harold Cleaner walking in the bushes. Wait. Is there blood on his face? It might be that figure again. I'm gonna go see. I bought a new house today. It's 2 stories tall and it's fireproof this time. And one of my friends, Jim Forrester, actually remembered Happy Appy. He said that there's more episodes that I forgot. It turns out the most violent episodes are actually at the end. And the series was supposed to be 25 episodes plus the TV movie. No one mentioned it because Jim had the only surviving tapes. The series got more violent slowly. He sent me a disc with fragments of Happy Appy episodes. Here's what they are. The first starts off with a school bell ringing, and Happy Appy is sitting next to a kid. The kid says that he can't understand math, and the teacher says class is dismissed. Then Happy sings a math song. It's distorted, but I can make out these lyrics. 2 minus 1, then your homework is done. And after that, the kids say, "Wow, thanks, Happy Appy." The next fragment was one of the more violent episodes. They were mixed clips, but here's what happens in order. 3 kids were crying so loud that it was almost painful to see. Happy Appy and 2 other kids were trying to help the kids. The kids were crying because their families were gone. Implied they died. The 2 kids comforted the 3 kids, and the 3 kids left. But Happy had this weird, perverted, nearing the border of greediness expression. He said, "Come with me." The 3 kids followed. The 3 kids followed Happy into a building. He then left it with bags of money. And the kids were screaming for help. There were more to be seen. And there was one fragment of a somewhat violent episode. Happy was putting a bandage on a kid's arm. In the far corner of his pocket, a needle with green fluid was seen. Happy then put the needle into the kid, knocking him out, and drug him into his van. And a chainsaw was heard. The DVD just stopped. Oh, you want to know more about the figure? First, it turns out that he was here, so I got out of there. Besides, I gave him a nickname. Forensic. Which is better than calling him the figure. And when I saw him 17 days ago, he seemed to have fingers with claws. And I don't mean like retractable claws in his fingers. His fingers were just very sharp. I also got a good look at him. I also got a good look at how he ran. He seems to be hunchbacked. Which means he'd be taller when he stands up, or when he stands up straight. I say about 6'9". Although you can speculate that because I don't have a picture of him. Jim Forrester, a man who used to work on Happy Appy, just called me. telling me that Blair Myers, the man who voiced Happy Appy and starred on Fright House Screamers, need to research that, sounds kind of interesting, he had died in his town. The body had 3 claw marks on his chest, with one of them puncturing his heart. I would have guessed forensic would have clawed him. However, Blair said that they were made by a being that would have extremely sharp claws because it managed to put a real nice scratch on one side of his rib. Jim Forrester gave me a DVD with 3 new episodes, including what could be part 2 of Happy Appy TV movie. Unfortunately, they're corrupt as shit. They need cleaning. I've gotten most of it working. Here's what happens. The first one was an episode that I mentioned, that Happy Appy and the Needle. It started out with what I said, and after Happy Appy chainsawed the kid, he drove off and went to a crashed plane. Well, the second scene I mentioned happened. You know, the one with has the 3 kids. And after that, he was playing with some kids. Then his skin peeled off, like an orange peeler had been used on him, revealing a rotten apple core. The skin then lands on a kid like a blanket. And the show then ends. The next one was the full classroom episode. What I said happened, but with better video. And after that, Happy goes into a science class where a kid is playing with a Bunsen burner, but accidentally gets burned. Happy then puts an ice pack on the kid's burn, and the kid thanks him. Then Happy notices some kid getting bullied by an older kid. Happy then told him not to give up. The kid then runs into the classroom, probably to tell a teacher what happens, and it ended. Finally, I saw part 2 of the Happy Appy movie. It started out with Happy Appy driving his van on a road. Then a kid then throws a rock into the road. Not a small pebble, no, I'm talking about a big rock. Then Happy's van rolls over the rock and the van crashes. And when I mean crash, I mean actual footage of a car crash. And after that, some kid runs over to the burning wreckage of Happy's van, where Happy Appy is shouting, "Get me out!" When this happens, the happy-go-lucky music that plays normally is replaced by parts of Revolution 9 reversed. One of the kids says, "There! His hat! His hat!" And it cuts to Happy's bloody stem. It then screamed, which was loud enough to make someone's ears bleed. The mouth had some bloodied teeth on it. Another kid then said, "His body! His body!" Happy's body was badly cut up, with big enough cuts to make blood pour out of it. His eyeball was dangling out of the socket, while his teeth were shattered. His left arm was cut off, bone visible, with blood spurting out the stump. While both his legs were broken, he tried to crawl out with his only non-broken decapitated arm. Finally, Happy died, while screaming to weird sci-fi noises. After that scene, it just showed the road, with the mashed-up van next to his body. After that, it cut to a funeral where kids were actually crying over Happy's dead body. One kid said, "Why, Happy? Why?" The final shot before the credits was the dead Happy with blood on his broken teeth. Instead of the theme song playing, a dark carnival music played, with pieces of the reversed Revolution 9 and Napoleon the 14th, "They're coming to take me away, haha." A narrator said his stomach was in 2 that day. There were 2. There is none now. He's there. He's getting next to his sister with all he knows. And finally, he ceased to work in the underworld. Guess what the narrator was talking over? Happy Appy with a bloodied scalpel in one hand. It slowly panned to the skin of the disguise Happy was under. Like the Magic Trick episode. But it just stopped.